Now to an absolutely shocking and tragic story that has come in from Lucknow. A story about a BMW, a dire prediction and a fatal crash that was live streamed on Facebook. Four friends, one a doctor, another an engineer, amongst others, took their BMW for a spin on Uttar Pradesh's Purvanchal Expressway. The car was clocking 230 kilometers per hour. They wanted to take it to 300. All this while they were live streaming the speedometer on Facebook. One of them, in fact, and you'll hear him in just a bit, can be heard saying, "All four of us will die, charon marenge." It's a prophecy that came true. Moments later, the car hits a container truck. All four are killed on the spot. Such was the impact of the BMW that it was reduced to a mangled heap in seconds. The car was on its way from Sultanpur to Delhi. This was supposed to be a Diwali drive that went horribly wrong, all because of speeding.
चारों मरेंगे।
रुकिए हाँ।
एक मिनट शांति।
अब देखिए ले लिया है। ये शांति रहो।
हाँ शांति है।
शांति रहो तभी चला पाएंगे।
ना गाना चला देते हैं।
गाने नहीं गाने।
ना ऐसे नहीं चलेगा। ऐसे चल भी नहीं करेगा।
चल जाएगा।
हमारा आदिया कनेक्ट करना। मोबाइल लो।
स्टेट मिलेगा तभी चला पाएंगे।
हाँ तो मोबाइल लो तो कनेक्ट कर दे।
रुक जो।
तो मोबाइल लो तो कनेक्ट करना।
स्टेट लेके तब ऑन कीजिएगा।
दूर रहना।
स्पीड आ रहा है ना?
आ रहा है।
अभी
आ गया है 300 आ गया है 130
है इसके लिए भी
That video, moments before the crash, as I said, all of it was being live streamed on Facebook. Hormazd Sorabjee is the editor of Autocar India. He's joining us on the broadcast. And Anurag Kulshrestha is founder, president of TRAX Society. He's joining us on the broadcast as well. Mr. Sorabjee, you saw that, you've seen that video, you've seen that unfortunate sequence of events. What do you even call this? I mean, the four guys are dead, but what do you even call this? This is nothing but plain stupidity.
It's more than that. It's just a death wish, almost, suicidal driving, in this ridiculous manner. I think it's just endemic of what the basic problem is just that, as I said earlier, we just are the worst drivers in the world. We have just no care for any sense of safety. And it's just very sad and very tragic that because of just sheer stupidity, lives have been snuffed out. And, beyond a point, whatever car you have, however safe it is, if you want to drive in this manner, you are going to kill yourself. And unfortunately, that's what's happened. I don't know. It's hard to say what caused the accident. We don't have that on video. I mean, so, theoretically, one can just assume that he was at a very high speed because this happened moments after this ridiculous video was shot. But I would, not want to hazard a guess or, even assume, what happened. But clearly, I think it's quite obvious that it was because of overspeeding for sure. How fast they were going, what the truck was doing, all that we don't know. So, there could be some other factors as well. But just that video with that speedo at that speed, just absolutely shocking and terrible. And I think it really puts the focus back on proper driver training and education, because whatever people say, roads are bad, cars are too fast, it all comes down to the driver. I mean, at the end of the day, it's life is in the hands of the person behind the wheel.
That's true. And, one would have thought that we've seen such a high-profile accident. Cyrus Mistry died on the road. And yes, it was a combination of factors. It was not just speeding, but it was a combination of factors that had led to that fatal crash as well. But in this case, as you rightly said, this was a death wish and nothing else. Anurag Kulshrestha, if you hear the entire video, they are speeding at 230 because, the camera of the phone is on the speedometer. They said 300 tak karte hain, which means let's try and take this to 300. And at one point of time, they say, let's wear our seat belts now, which means they were driving at the speed at which they were without seat belts. Till one of them realizes, oh, let's put it on.
Shreya ji, well said by you. And as we can see in the video, and everything is very much clear. my question or my exact things to what is the psychology behind it. I think for last so many years, we know the slogan, speed thrills, but kills. Everybody used to forget but kills. But speed means thrill means it's a thrilling, it's an adventure, and United Nations as well as WHO is saying clearly every time, every year, every moment. Till the moment you will not stop provoking of such things, accidents will make happen. You have to exit because we are having the human nature. Human nature is basically lean towards thrills and adventure. And speeding and driving is an adventure. Remember it. Second thing, which things triggered them? I, as an NGO, is demanding for last 4-5 years. If you are having the limit, speed limit on our roads, maximum to maximum, we can say for the future roads also will be 150, maximum. Why there is a speedometer of 300 in all the cars, even in bikes also? Maximum we can drive at 50, 60 or 70. Why it's 180 or 200 in bikes? Indirectly, this thing is triggering everyone as an adventure, as an thrilling experience. Yes, we can do. And it is the human nature. Only United Nations is saying, you can stop this, all these nonsenses. You cannot stop the accidents. You can stop the severity of the accidents.
So, Mr. Sorabjee, okay. Mr. Sorabjee, then can I quickly ask you to come in here and help me understand whether reducing the speed limit in this country will help? It is at 120 kilometers per hour on expressways, on national highways, it is 100. But the government of India, the Urban Development Ministry wants the speed limit to actually go up rather than come down. Is it time for us to now probably bring down the speed limits? Because, even in this case, if we see, these guys were in any case driving beyond the speed limit.
So I think a couple of things over here. One is, I think there have been measures on the use of speed. I think what Mr. Gadkari's ministry brought in a MOT is possibly, I would say, one of the most important or useful safety devices, and that's the speed limit warning. Clearly, this car did not have it. Because it's an old car, it was not there. So you have one chime at 80 and a constant chime at 120. And I can tell you for all of us, it is hugely annoying and it automatically makes you slow down. So I think that thing has been done. But at the end of the day, you are going to get people like this and they will kill themselves at 150 and even at 50. I think what happens is that, I'll be honest, accidents like this, they become very high profile just because of the intensity of it. BMW car. But what I want to know is how many deaths have been caused due to speeds above 120. I'm sure a lot have. I think the bigger issue which you are avoiding is the amount of two-wheeler deaths there are, the amount of accidents we have with trucks and buses going into gorges, which have happened at far lower speeds and all because of poor driver training. And again, it comes back to the issue of driver training and driver training. Now, each driver has his own speed limit in the way what he is capable of. Clearly, this was really stupid. They exceeded what they had done. And, others who don't have basic control, even beyond 100, is what it can be dangerous. So, while it's fair to say that lowering the speed automatically reduces the chance of accidents, that's at the end, where does it stop? From 120, you bring it to 50, you definitely won't have any you'll have very few accidents. But can we have a speed limit of 50? I think the main thing is really we have to take driver training on an absolute emergency footing. I would even go as far to say that people should be retested every few years with more and more stringent tests. And, if you try and getting a driving license in any country like the UK or Europe, it is so strict. You have to be a really very competent driver to get that license. So I think it's again down to the driver, down to the mentality of the driver. As the panelists said, it's really the psyche. People wanting to drive in this manner. But I think a combination of education, enforcement, and proper driver training is frankly the most effective way, because it covers all aspects and all situations, be it the road, the speed, the conditions, the vehicle. Because at the end, what the driver learns is to drive with a safety envelope around him. And I think that's where the maximum impact of reducing fatalities will be, which is, when the driver does realize there's a certain amount of defensive driving, there's a certain amount of, let's say, responsibility on the road that has to be, taken care of.
59% of deaths on Indian roads happen because of speeding. 60% of all accidents on Indian roads happen because of speeding. You've just had a very high-profile fatal accident where India has lost one of its most high-profile tycoon. Even that didn't seem to be a cautionary tale. So what do you say to these 4 people? And they're not even young men. They're all in their mid-30s to do what they did. We leave it there for the moment. Mr. Sorabjee, thank you very much. Mr. Kulshrestha, thank you very much for joining us.